All right, guys, happy Tuesday. Primarily worked first and second down game plan against what we think is a really good Stanford team. Having a chance to watch watch them over the last 2.5 days. It's the same thing as usual, a very well-disciplined, very physical Stanford team under David Shaw. Offensively, offensively, they always bring their run game to the park. That's what you got to stop right off the bat, and it's an area improvement that we must do from game 1 to game 2. Very impressed with both Love and Scarlett, what they were able to do against Rice. They provide a great dynamic, one being a true speed back, very hard to get on the ground with Love, tremendous out of the backfield, and then Scarlett kind of being a little bit of the power runner in between the tackles. Quarterback-wise, it's really good to see Keller Christ back healthy. He's a kid that we recruited out of high school out of Palo Alto. Great kid, great family, and it's great to see him back playing ball again after knee surgery. Did very well versus Rice. He kind of continued where he left off at the latter half of the season. He's a kid that doesn't make a lot of mistakes, manages the offense extremely well in their system, being able to check from one play to the other. He's got a great arm, and he's a very good player. Skill-wise, we've known Trent Irwin and Schultz for a long time. They do a great job, but it was interesting to see the two freshmen that came in with Colby Parkinson and Connor Weddington. Usually you see an older Stanford group go out there, and see those two freshmen come out and make plays in that first game was interesting to see, and you can tell they're talented kids. Coach Shaw's always done a great job with the offense, calling it and getting it ready. Multiple personnel grouping, shifts, motions. He played 6 different personnel groupings in the first 10 plays of last week's game, so he's always done a great job of keeping you off base. Defensively, a very experienced older bunch, all juniors and seniors coming back off this football team. They've always had the heart of the defense be where their strength are, and that's the nose, the mic, and the free safety. And you look up, and there's Harrison Phillips, who's a terrific football player, Sean Barton at the mic, and Simmons at the safety. And then they've always had that great edge player, and there's number 34 coming off the edge, which it seems like for 6 years now, it seems like he's been there, but Peter's done an unbelievable job of providing pass rush for him. It's a great challenge for our football team. It's a big game for us, and I know as well as Stanford, this game has a lot to do with what happens in our conference later on and trying to get to a Pac-12 championship. So important game for us, both as a team and improvement-wise. Injury-wise, you saw we held Bubba Bolden out with that knee bruise. We'll see where he is later in the week, but he's doubtful for this game. And then Chuma, you saw him early in the practice. We wanted to get him a pretty good lather and then shut him down and get some cardio inside. He's got a knee contusion that we're monitoring on a day-to-day basis. We think he'll be there for Saturday, but we're going to ease him along this week after coming off that first game. With that, I'll answer any questions that you got.
Sam said that he thought things. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sam thought that he thought he played far worse than he did after he watched it on film. Do you kind of look at it the same way?
Yeah, like I said Sunday, the thing I love about Sam Darnold is he's always so hard on himself, and that's what you appreciate as a coach. He's always one is a perfectionist and wants to do better. The thing that when I looked at it, and like I said at the media deal on Sunday, was I look at a quarterback that did exactly what we asked him to do, and that was not get glued in on one guy, but spread the ball around and really trust the guys around you. And you look up and he threw to 10 different receivers. He completed 70% of his balls. And like I said to him, I said, there's going to be some days that we're going to run for 6 touchdowns, and then there's some days you're going to pass for 6 touchdowns. And that was one of the days we ran for 6 touchdowns. And there's going to be great days, and there's going to be days we wish we had a throw or 2 back. But overall, it was not as bad as he always thinks. If there's one person that's always harder on himself than anyone, it's Sam Darnold, and that's one of the reasons I love him.
Did Chuma get hurt during the game?
Chuma got hurt in the first half. Bumped knees in the side of the knee, and credit to him, just wouldn't come out. We looked at it structurally on the sideline. It looked good. He felt fine, and really the adrenaline working. He fought through the game, but it was sore Sunday, a lot better Monday, and was able to come out here and get a little work on Tuesday. So I anticipate him for Saturday.
In the preseason on defense,
the hallmark would be you guys flying around and being really physical. And you look at Saturday, and it didn't seem to be the team you had seen in preseason. What was going on there?
Yeah, really three things were happening, Dan. One, when we looked at, especially first half, we had some alignment errors, which was the first thing. Anytime that you lose gap control because of being misaligned is going to hurt you. The second one is we lost gap control. We got reached on a couple plays that really hurt us. They were a lot more flat zone than we thought they would come in to be, and we lost some gap control. And then we missed a tackle or two out in space on the perimeter. You combine any of those three things, it's going to make for a hard day, but we let all three of them happen. And that's basically what happened in that game.
Is there a reason why? Do you think what explains that?
Definitely the first is alignment issues, not getting lined up quick enough or making the wrong call by an adjuster. The second thing is, losing gap control is the offensive lineman getting his hat placement faster than you got to that point. And then the missed tackle was us just not wrapping up and running our feet. When I go back and look at it, there wasn't as many missed tackles as I felt there were. It was more lacking the gap control and losing, not getting lined up correctly.
Physicality seems to be kind of a buzzword with Stanford and trying to match up with them. I guess I don't know if you can measure it, but how far do you feel like you were last Saturday to where you need to be with Stanford?
Obviously defensively, and you saw it today, I thought they had their jaw set today. I mean, they're mad, and that's what you want. You want a defense that's mad and ready to come to the park. I thought offensively, when I look at the physicality in our run game, I thought we were close to where we want to be. When you look up and you're rushing for almost 7 yards a carry, that's what you want. We are, like I said, the balance of our offense is key, and that rushing game is imperative to take the pressure off Sam and some young wideouts, and that's our benchmark. Is every game we're hoping for 200 yards or more, and you're right in the 232 range there. That's where we want to be. So probably closer on offense, and I know our defense understands that we need to get better this week.
What's Daniel Baby's status health-wise, and the coaches kind of expecting him to be a bigger part in the offense this week?
Yeah, last week I credit to him. He's probably 85-90% going in. I know he always tells me, yeah, coach, I'm 95, but if you look at him, he wasn't all the way, but gosh dang, he goes out there and helps his brothers. Really did some nice stuff in the perimeter blocking. The outside zone that Ronald scored the big run on is primarily him. There goes hat placement and hat speed. He just captured the defender outside shoulder, and Rojo was able to run right around it. But from a blocking standpoint, I thought he did a wonderful job. Obviously, as he feels healthy, we'll integrate him more in the passing game.
What was the message to the team after there's the couple fights there?
I love where they're at. You want to be right there on the edge. I know defensively they're mad. They're ready to play. They have a pride about them about playing good physical football, and that was not them on Saturday. And I love the pride about them. And you want to be right there on the edge. This field is about competition. I want them there. Just reminded them to make sure that we're making good decisions in game, and not a decision that costs us 15 yards.
Why so much nickel against a team like Western Michigan?
Primarily because of the three wides. You see the three wides in the game, and Clancy is known for matching that up and making sure that you don't have a Uchenna or a Wale matched up on a slot receiver in that defense. So he'll match up with nickel. Sometimes he'll play base in that game. He had the game plan to play nickel.
So were the down linemen kind of overmatched, two guys against their,
I don't think they were overmatched, Dan. I think primarily like what I said, just not getting lined up correctly all the time, and then losing gap control. And any one of those two things can make you not function well. But I don't think they were overwhelmed. When they did line up right and did contain their gap, it was good. And when they didn't, didn't look so good.
A lot of Ronald's yards came after contact on Saturday. You guys have mentioned this extra 10 pounds, but is he doing something else or differently that would proves that?
He looks like a stronger runner to me right now. You know, he's always been super fast. He's contained that speed, but you look at the tackles, the arm tackles he's running through right now. He's a very powerful runner, and I think a lot of it has to do with the strength and the work that he put in the off season. He is 10 pounds heavier, but he's really so much stronger a runner than he was last year, and now arm tackles aren't bringing him down. And he was he was explosive in camp, and then he showed what he can do Saturday.
How much of that is DeLand?
We're very, very fortunate to have Coach McCullough here. He's one of the best I've ever been around, and I love a guy that his players trust him, and the coaching, the knowledge that he brings to the table. They truly feel like they're getting better each and every week. He's a very special hire, and very glad he's here.
Coach, from your perspective, what would cause players to line up incorrectly? Would it be the first game jitters, or?
No, I think you have some guys that are going out there for the first time and they're making calls, you know, for the first time, and the plays are going faster than maybe they go in practice sometimes, and you make a call and it wasn't right, or you made the call and one of your D linemen didn't line up in the right gap, you know. So those are things that happen in the first game and things that we got to be able to clean up very quickly.
When you say who makes a call, is the linebacker in charge of making calls? Is there a particular down lineman that's making the call?
Yeah, you end up seeing the call from the sideline, making the call for the defense, finding the strength, making sure they're lined up to the strength, making sure the down linemen are in the right spot. It's a big job to do.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.